T100.
I always get a bit excited this time of year.
You like a new Titleist release?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so T100 to kick us off. This is the forged, gameable kind of players club. It is the T100. What does it remind you of? Anything?
Looking down at it?
No, as in like any other club in the Titleist range before or anything like that?
Not sure.
T100. How's that looking to you down by the ball, Danny boy? T100.
Do you know what it looks like to me?
Do I have to bat you, or you alright?
It looks like my CB.
Ah, well, interesting. We'll go into the specs at some second, but the top line of this club is matched with your 718 CBs.
Yeah.
So it's a very thin top line. So that means you must like the look of it.
I do like the look of it.
Do you see any of the club out the back? Because obviously it's chunkier than your CB.
No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. Nothing there. Not even down in this kind of corner, which sometimes you can catch a glimpse of it down there, you know.
Okay.
Just in this bottom corner here.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm not seeing anything there that's upsetting my eyes at the moment.
Right, let's collect some numbers then with the 6-iron.
Yeah.
You'll hit some out some. We've also got some hits outside to talk about as well.
Yeah.
Let's see what this club does. Feeling, initial thought, sound, feel.
It feels different to now what I'm used to. So even though visually it looks the same as kind of like my CB, what you would call now the old CB, that is definitely a slightly different sound than what I would expect to feel off my clubs. So only way I can explain that is it feels kind of more high pitched.
Okay.
Than what I'm used to feeling. I'm feeling like a more of a duller feel off the face, and that's acoustics as well.
Yeah.
But this one's now feeling a bit more, higher pitched is the word.
Okay, let's have a little look at the specs, what Titleist is saying about this club. So, thinner top line, I think we're saying?
Slightly thinner top line. Very much matching in with what you quite rightly said earlier on, matching in with the 718 CB. So we're getting also a kind of a progressive blade length throughout the set, so maybe slightly more compact in the shorter irons, then leading up into the sort of longer irons.
So it's a stockier short iron and longer in the longer irons.
We're going to talk about tiny numbers here.
Yeah.
But visually, you might see that you're going to start to see a slightly longer blade length when you get up into the sort of 5 irons and 4 irons.
And why do you think they would do that?
I would say it's just more real estate down at the ball.
Confidence building, definitely.
Absolutely. The slightly lower offset as well.
So it's not as offset as prior, not that there's been a prior T100 model, but other models in the range.
And that's a kind of, I like that, because I kind of moved more towards the CB originally, whereas I would like to have played, let's say, the older range of Titleist, but because of the offset, I kind of moved more to CB, even though I would have preferred to play maybe the other type of range within the Titleist range. But now looking at this now kind of excites me a little bit more, that I can actually get something that's more player friendly, but it has the look that I want to get. So going with tungsten as well in this particular model. So we got tungsten either ports here. So you'll see there's going to be some tungsten put in here, around average of 66 grams of tungsten gone in.
And that's inside, you don't see it.
You won't see that. It's tucked up underneath, built in within the club there. You've also got the thinnest face they've ever produced. So what they're saying, 1.8 mil on average between their sort of 3 iron down to 6 iron in this set. Then the last little bit we've got is the sole. They've tried to change the sole a little bit more again. They always sort of play around with this a little bit, don't they, as products move on. But again, just working with tour players to try and get a feel of what they want to feel, which then obviously then blends into new sets.
Right, should we look at some of these numbers then?
Yeah.
How's that feeling to you? Something you could gain?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't have a problem with that at all from a feel point of view. You know when you've mishit it, which is, again, I kind of want that. I want that feedback from a club, so yeah.
So your 6-iron down would normally carry what in your bag at the minute?
170 to 175 is where my 6-iron would sit.
And what we're seeing with T100?
T100, 172 average, jumping between 168 and 175. So it's absolutely where my current set would sit. My 6-iron would sit in there. And interestingly, when I had my CBs made for me a couple of years ago and fitted up, I actually went a degree stronger.
Oh, did you?
I did. I went to my CBs in that set would have been, let's say the 7-iron was 35 degrees in loft, and then I moved it to 34, which now moves in
line with that.
This.
Yeah. Peak heights.
Peak heights 34 yards high on an average, pretty consistent there, I would say. So the strike was pretty good all the way through.
Spinning at
average 6.4 spin.
Which is about where you are. You're an on the number, a slightly higher spinner, are you not, with your irons?
Yeah, because I can get a little bit, I can get down into them a little bit more.
So 6-iron at 6,000 to slightly above, which you're doing?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, there's one that I mishit there fractionally. If I took that out, it picks up another sort of 100 revs on an average. But yeah, that's exactly where I would want to see it.
Launching at 17.5 degrees.
17.5.
So kind of fitting into what you would expect that to do.
Yeah.
You're liking the less offset?
Loving the
Because obviously, yeah, that's something that's big for you.
It is, yeah, it is, and actually, I even with making these, if I wanted to, I could put this up to, let's say, the 7-iron into 35 degrees, so adding a degree of loft.
Oh, that would be a little cheeky copy, wouldn't it?
Because I love what you've done to yours.
Yeah.
I actually could see that by taking actually that fraction more offset, especially when it comes to the longer clubs.
Yeah.
So when I look down at a 4-iron, they can start to get a little bit offset for me. If I could just add a fraction of loft with it, which is not a bad thing for a 4-iron for me, I could just take a bit of offset off of it. Oh, that would be perfect for me.
So I'm liking the look of T100. Definitely you see less offset than you have done in some other Titleist models, but I play this club, and you'll see what clubs I play soon, because I've done a video on it. But I've even taken a little bit more of that out by doing what you said with the lofts, which we'll come to. But yeah, it's stunningly pretty. And I like what the top line is doing. It does look nice, and I don't know the right way of saying this. It's a confusing one for me, because it looks slender, but it looks chunky enough at the same time, because obviously I'm going from a blade, which is so slender. Yeah. So this looks chunkier, but if you go from my T300 6-iron to this looks slender, so it's all relative, isn't it? But I like the top line as well. Right, I'm going to collect some numbers, and we also went outside and hit some, so I don't like just to hit them from the mats inside. I like them to actually fly towards a target in the real world, and we'll talk about that as well.
You talked about you moving to this set. Happy you done it?
Well, I played in Grand Canaria with them, which was 4 or 5 rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember rounds. And yeah, I loved them.
And is that because you've just got a little bit more club looking down, when you look down at the ball and the club sat there, does it just give you a fraction more confidence? Is that it?
So you can work that statement out however you want. Yes, so if we're going to do, let's not think about what I'm saying and take it as one piece, then what you just said there.
Yeah.
Okay. What I actually think when I sit down and think of it is, how much of it is it that it looks really funky? I like that I funked it a little bit to suit my game. And then how much of it is just because it's different? And none of them carry any more weight than each other. Some people will think that last statement is almost like degrading the club a little bit, you know, it's not any better, it's just that it's different. Well, sometimes that's enough, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because looking down at, for me, my longest player iron, a 6-iron, and seeing something that is a little bit more friendly, even though the numbers come out exactly the same, I'm happy with that. Yeah. And I'm happy with the blend a bit more. Yeah. But it's not as if I'll use this set of clubs for the rest of my life, because I'll also be happy with the next change, I'm sure. Sometimes something new and shiny is enough, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I agree.
It does feel solid as well. What I like with these, and I always liked it in prior models compared to mine, and I love the feel of my old blades, but they do feel, when you said, you described it as feeling tingier, I think.
Yeah, I like higher pitch.
Yeah, I like the fact, I would say this feels more solid.
Okay.
And what I mean by solid, I don't mean better or worse, I mean it feels like almost a heavier solid, almost like hitting with a heavy hammer to a light hammer. And I don't mean that as in this feels like it weighs more, just that contact with the little bit more help feels a bit more solid. And I can't even measure if it is or isn't. I've tried.
Yeah. So
absolutely is playing on my emotions as much as it is the physical changes. Now we hit these outside as well. When I was hitting them outside, I mean, I've played loads of rounds of them. The thing for me that felt the most different is that the blend was more consistent into my hybrids. And I don't mean that in performance, I mean more consistent in its appearance.
Yeah.
Then in turn its feel, because obviously my hybrid feels super, super solid, because I like them and they're chunky as can be with roll and bulge and everything's helping.
Yeah.
So the blend feels more natural. And I like the fact that I got them to perform very much the same as my blades, which you'll see on another video coming soon. Same feeling through the ground, same feeling through the air, same feeling off the face, apart from that feeling of a bit more of a chunkier hit, which I liked.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan? When you hit them out on the course, what did they feel like to you?
I'm exactly the same. I just feel with these that I wasn't hearing that sound as much out there as what I was possibly feeling it in here or hearing it in here.
I think that's a good point. Inside testing to outside can be so different.
Yeah,
can't it?
it's more, it can bounce around this room a little bit and therefore you're hearing things, should we say. Whereas out on the golf course, it now starts to feel to me like it's a little bit, again, slightly different, more sort of, as you quite rightly said, more solid or more slightly duller than what I was getting in here. Have you noticed anything like with the progression from your blades into these? You know, are you getting anything different in your launches? Sorry?
What do you mean, in the blade lengths? Or
no, as in like the launches that you're getting from these irons now from what you had previously.
Well, we'll look at the numbers in a second, but I feel like it's because of what I've done to them. I don't reckon I am with these, but with what I've done to my ones, I reckon I can get them up a little higher.
Yeah, but are you seeing that when you've played on the golf course with them? Is it noticeable?
Again, not enough shots.
No.
4 rounds over 4 days or whatever it was. I think I would see that over a much longer period of time. There's one shot that stands out over water with my longest iron, which is a 6 iron, not my chunky 6 iron, which pops it up fine for what I've done to it. I was happy to have any help on that occasion.
Yeah.
Like if I could have hit my hybrid, I would have.
Yeah. And to me, that's a winner. Like, that's a win there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if my performance will be any better, but my feelings.
Correct, and that's half the battle, isn't it? Totally. When you stand over a shot.
Makes you want to get out and do it more.
Correct.
So if we look at my numbers to yours, so 6 iron, I'm averaging 165. My 6 iron's a 175 club, so that's carry, remember, so that's a 170 average by the time it's stopped, because unfortunately my 6 iron peaking height at 30 isn't going to stop like Stenson's. Longest hit 173. Yeah. Which is kind of where I play my 6 iron basically, 180 to 160, subject to conditions and wind and the rest of it. So we're launching very similar. Yeah. I'm spinning a fraction less.
Yeah. Normal, standard.
Yeah. So I'm 6,000 to slightly lower, which is what I normally am. So on the number to slightly lower is my general rule. And then I'm a club behind you in irons, which it kind of is there. Yeah. 7 yards difference in carry. It's kind of exactly in place.
Launching the same, just that little peak height, both mine just a little bit higher.
Yeah,
it's just spinning it up there.
And you've got the speed, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got more ball speed. You know, you're consistently swinging that faster, which is why you're half a club longer. For me to get here, I need to go to the gym. So for me, T100 does what it should do, which is what I've always loved from Titleist and other companies out there. But Titleist, like they make a club and says it does X, and it kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to like the fact that this looks so cool for a club that's trying to offer as much help as this. It'll be interesting, we'll do more testing comparing. I wonder how many other models, other companies have got something that is, in theory, this user friendly, but looks as good as that. I think this is kind of ticking almost all the boxes in that field for me. It'll be interesting to see what consumers, everyone else says. It's a fully forged head T100. Indoors, outdoors numbers, does what it's meant to do. Post comments down below, let me know if it's something you would try or not. Hit that subscribe button, remember to hit the bell if you haven't done already. Post comments down below, T100, are you going to try it or not?